Let's go.
Welcome to the Trusted Leader Show. I'm your host, David Horsager. Join me as I sit down with influential leaders from around the world to discuss why leaders and organizations fail, top tactics for high performance, and how you can become an even more trusted leader. Welcome to the Trusted Leader Show. It's David Horsager. I have a special guest, and let me tell you a little about him first. He is the CEO and co-founder of Esteem Brands. That's the parent company of Anytime Fitness, Waxing the City, The Bar Method, Basecamp Fitness, and Stronger You. Let me tell you about Anytime quick, by the way. It's for the 7th year in a row. Anytime is the world's fastest growing fitness club. They have revolutionized the fitness industry in 2002. The co-founders have become good friends of mine. He is also the author of the book Love Work. We're going to talk about that and leading a company through the pandemic and change and having massive growth. Grew to, I think, 5,000 franchise locations faster than anybody's ever done it, even Subway. So thanks for being on the show, Chuck Runyon.
David, it's an honor to be here. Thanks. I can't wait to talk about culture, employees, leadership, all that stuff. I love it.
Well, it's a treat. Let's go back for a moment. We want to get into, and I think we do it faster than many podcasts, takeaways and usable items and inspiration. But we do need to set it up here. You and Dave Mortensen started this way back in kind of humble beginnings. Give us just some insight into what that was like.
Yeah, so remember, this is May 2002 when we opened up our first Anytime Fitness. We're coming up here on our 20-year anniversary. And this is, although the internet was there, this is the very first iPod came out. So if you think about technology and how pervasive it is today, it wasn't. We didn't have Facebook or smartphones or Instagram, so a completely different world. And the technology we launched with was very, revolutionary to the fitness industry, giving people 24/7 access to any club in the world. At the time, we didn't have many, but it continued to grow. And so we were ahead of our time. The thought of giving people access to a club that sometimes wasn't staffed, a lot of people didn't think would work. Thankfully, we had the courage to just continue on. And we didn't have much experience in franchising. So Dave and I are just constant lifelong learners, and we're okay to make mistakes. We know we don't know everything. And here we are, just trying to get better, one club, one franchisee, one community at a time. And we still think that way. To us, it's a balance of micro with macro. And here we are, 5,000 locations in 7 continents, and still
7 continents. That's right, even Antarctica.
Yes, we are the first franchise brand in history to be on all 7 continents. In the December, right before COVID, we were there planting the flag for Anytime Fitness. And who would have known that 2.5 months later, the entire world shut down? It's crazy.
Oh. It's just crazy. And yet, you talk about one of the industries, one of my best friends is CEO of a travel company that only specializes in group international airfare. You talk about a hit that was taken, but other than that, and we can argue everybody's had it hard, no doubt about it. Our healthcare friends, our emergency friends, our teachers. But the fitness industry took a wallop as far as financially. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we were the first industry to close and the last to reopen. And remember, 70% of the fitness industry are small business owners. Our global network is really a reflection of thousands of small business owners. And the pandemic really hit small business owners hard. They just don't have the balance sheet or liquidity to necessarily survive something like this. So it has never, in 20 years, has our work been more important to support our franchise owners, helping them with royalty relief, rent reductions, making sure they can take advantage of every federal and state relief program out there, and quite frankly, providing the emotional support to get through this. So I've never been more proud of our team and how we've selflessly supported our owners through this. We lost, a lot less as a percentage of clubs than the industry did. And, I really give credit to our team and the strength of this brand. And now that we're on the other side of it, we're just doing our best to help them bounce back quickly.
And you're almost at 100% back.
Yes, we are 99%. We were 100% for about 2 weeks, and then Hong Kong just shut down again. So we're close. We'll get there soon.
So, we're going to jump around, and that's okay. It's the way we do things. But I just want to go where my audience wants to go, and they want to listen and hear from you. But if we think about this, some people call it the Great Resignation. Certainly, employees have more power than they've had in a long time, maybe ever in many ways. I know over at Anytime and in Self-Esteem Brands, you have an employee value proposition, and then you have the employer value proposition. Of course, we can think of the employer, what are you going to bring to the table, but the employee value proposition of what is it, what's going to make you unique, how am I going to get the best talent, how am I going to keep the best talent, what are you doing, and how are you thinking about that these days?
Yeah, that is a great question and very top of mind for us right now, because we are modifying our employee value proposition as we get people back to work and think about this new hybrid environment. And to be clear, I actually love this, what I would call Great Resignation, this opportunity where employees have more leverage than ever before, because now you don't have to work at a job you don't love. I mean, you are now, for most knowledge workers, they can work anywhere for any company. They can pick a profession or industry they're curious about or passionate about, and they can go to work. And so I love that, because I just think as an individual, we devote half our waking hours to work. We should really enjoy it. We should be emotionally invested in the work that we do. And so I want people who love their work, and there's no reason now to drive to a job that you don't enjoy. So for an employee perspective, I love it. For an employer, look, we can now hire people from anywhere in the world too. And so now it's no longer restricted to our, a commute time of say 45 minutes. We can hire people from a different country. We can hire people from a different state. So look, it's equal playing field, and the best culture wins. So I'm quite confident in how we attract and retain our team with a high performance culture, with not just your traditional benefits, but a culture that really cares about their personal and professional growth. We've always, for a long time, invested in the whole self-development of our team. And so we want our people getting healthier. We want them growing. We want them taking guitar lessons or doing marathons or, having a balanced life and making sure they're coaching Little League with their kids. These are things we talk about. These are values we care about. When they are here, we want them to unlock their potential, and we put money and time behind that. So, go ahead.
Yeah, you did that before a lot of people did. And by the way, before all this, I've been to your offices. I got to say, some of the best corporate offices and the nicest and the coolest. And of course, there's the fitness facility, but there's a whole lot more. And it is just a beautiful place to work and to be together. We're seeing some of the data where not everything virtual it went up for a little bit, but actually there is the data shows being together in person, connecting, actually seeing each other still does matter in many ways. But what are some of the unique things you do to create this high trust, motivated culture? What have you been doing? How are you? Because we can say, the employees, I can hear some CEOs listening saying, yeah, the employees have all the power now. They want to get paid more. I can't pay that much more. They want to have, free, espressos at every break. I can't do, I'm just trying to make this company work. They want to have every possible benefit that anybody has. And it's hard to do. So what are you doing that others could do to really create a high performing culture?
Well, as you know, our 4 Ps, what we center our culture on is what we call people, purpose, profits, and play. And think about those 4 components. We're investing in our team, as I mentioned, that whole self-development, helping them unlock their potential as both an individual as well as a professional. Purpose. We talk a lot about making sure they have a direct line of sight to how we impact people around the world. And again, our people are passionate about that. They care about improving lives. Profits. High performance people want to be able to move the needle on metrics. They want autonomy. They want to know they're impacting the company in many ways. And then play. Dave and I are very intentional about making sure that our company feels that sense of play, competitiveness, creativity, collaboration. And so we are intentional about bringing those 4 Ps to life in our day-to-day environment with our team, whether we're on Zoom or whether we are in the office. And I think if we bring those 4 together, those are the 4 ingredients of a high performance team. And now we're not perfect, we're not for everybody, but we also make no apologies for our culture and what we believe in. And people either fit into that or they don't. Again, we want to have fair pay, will never be the highest. We want to have great benefits. But, if you look at our full holistic employee value prop, we are emotionally and physically and mentally engaging them at a deeper level than our competitors.
So let's go a little bit deeper on that. By the way, everybody can read more. I think I was one of the endorsers on the book. I loved it. Love work, and it talks all about those 4 Ps and what you were doing way before the pandemic, which is why you're bouncing back so fast, I think. But let's talk about those specifically. Okay, we can say people, we can say private, we can say we're into the individual and we allow them to play guitar lessons. But then when it's time to work, it's like, hey, get off your guitar. We need this thing done. So what do we actually? Let's take it and give me an actionable under a couple of those of what do you do to actually show you focus on the people?
Well, I just did an exercise where I asked every single employee in our organization to email me directly. We put together a survey. We have 4 pillars of work here, like where we're focused on. And I wanted to know the metrics they are prioritized on, and I wanted to know a very human story on the outcome of their work. And I got to tell you, I loved it. It was an incredible exercise. I read every single employee response. And so we have an opportunity to prioritize more and make sure people have visibility to their business metrics and human impact. But I was quite proud of the business they were describing. And so, we really look at this as a partnership. It's like, how do they want to grow? How can they see the company improving? At the end of the day, people just want to weigh in with their point of view and their experience. They want to know that they're shaping this company and shaping the culture. So it's very collaborative. We kind of ask them, where can we help you grow? Where do you think you can help the company? So for us, we try to be a company of leaders, and, we're always asking people to weigh in, to not be told what to do, but tell us what you think. Ask why. Shape it with us. And so I just think when people feel a part of that, they actually just feel part of the company. They feel
right.
part of the mission.
When they feel listened to and they get to be a part of the change. I think this is, another one of our friendly companies here in Minnesota, especially when they were number 2 to Starbucks. One of the unique things about Caribou Coffee is they really were, and they still are coming back to it. I love what John Butcher's doing there right now as CEO of Caribou. But they really had a pathway for a frontline, almost minimum wage coffee barista, listening to them. What do they think? That's why if you have all the cool phrases that everybody's ripped off, thanks a latte and all those kind of things, a lot of those great ideas came from the frontline barista that was 25 years old or 17 years old because they had a pathway. Many, many companies, all their gold, they're not listening to their gold on the front line. And so getting feedback, and what does that do? It engages them because, hey, look, I matter. Look at that thanks a latte thing that's on every napkin. Look at that idea that I had at 17 years old or whatever it is, right? So very cool. Is there, just to drill deeper, any feedback you've taken from somebody out in the field that now is a part of the organization? It's part of the culture because you were listening to people, maybe one of your fitness, one of the anytimes in Germany or whatever.
Oh, franchisee feedback is a hallmark of successful franchise systems. And so we are constantly getting a feedback loop of, how consumers are different, what we can do with the digital experience, operational practices needed, reports needed. It's our job is we have a flood of information coming at us from various stakeholders. We just need to help kind of prioritize that. So again, the feedback is so valuable, but we allow, because we're in so many different countries, we allow this, what we call glocal, like a global brand that has been localized. And so it's our job to listen to franchise owners, our partners, and find out what modifications do we need to make to the brand in terms of colors and design and offering and services to now make it valuable to the consumers. And so I think our entire job is about listening and then making those adaptations to, make sure the brand is thriving in that marketplace. So, if you visit an Anytime Fitness in Japan, you'll know it's an Anytime Fitness, but you'll see some changes in color schemes or club design that are different than here.
That's funny. I think of that for even my first book, Trust Edge, when it got put into Chinese. Red. Our color scheme stands for death in China, so it's or Korea, so it's blue. They had to change the whole color scheme to make it relevant there, right? What does this mean there? So we had to think about that kind of thing.
Most training and development initiatives don't last or even solve the root problem hindering an organization. That's where Trust Edge certification comes in. Trust Edge certified partners are equipped with a suite of tools to identify, benchmark, and close gaps in trust for good. Because when you solve the real issue, you get measurable results and a culture where people actually want to make an impact. So whether you're a trainer, a manager, an HR executive, or a leader in learning and development, check out trustedgeplatform.com and see how you can start solving the root issue and get lasting results in your organization. And now back to the show.
You know, one of the ways I see that you show or people show their commitment to you, and this is pretty cool. I want to hear the story behind it. I've been to your headquarters. Of course, I've been an Anytime member. But what about that tattoo?
Yes, we are I think the only corporate headquarters in the world that I know of that has a full-time tattoo room. Now, at our first annual conference in 2005, one of our franchise owners, this is in downtown St. Paul, Minnesota, wanted to get the Running Man tattooed on his shoulder. And he went and did it. And I'm like, dude, like you literally bleed purple. And ever since then, it's gone viral within our network. And we have thousands of people, employees, members, franchisees, vendors who've they personalized the Anytime Fitness Running Man tattoo on their skin. And now at our annual conferences and training events, we have like 5 tattoo artists giving tattoos. And you know what? It goes back to, it's always like a very deep purpose. It's never about, hey, because we have more treadmills, we're open 24 hours. It's actually never even because I made so much money with Anytime Fitness. It's about life change. Like I changed my life or I help someone change their life. It always trails back to purpose.
The story is amazing, and I think that's one of the things you notice when you come into your headquarters is Dave took me around for the first time, your co-founder and president, and just story after story of this was the change that happened to that person. This was that person that got tattooed here. That's the story. This is the story behind this. So I think those...
I get goosebumps here almost every day, and I bet you I get like a lump in my throat like at least once a week or twice a week because of the stories that are going on in this network. It's unbelievable.
Well, what I love about you guys too is you live it out. You both look and are fit and care about it, and so you work hard and you do all these things. I know lots of people that are even C-suite folks of health organizations that don't look anything like you'd want to be, right? So you guys seek to live that out on stage and off stage. Go backwards for a moment with me because, people don't know it because there's so many other gyms that do 24-hour now, and it caught on so big. But you were back in these early days. You had this kind of wacky idea. How did that even come to be?
We were working at, Dave and I worked at larger clubs. We did consulting work. We actually owned some big clubs that we were taking over. And we realized the pain points, which is, we had 40, 50,000 square foot clubs that were being underutilized. We understood the staffing pain points. We're like, how do we allow members to come in whenever they want and not have staffing? So quite honestly, we were just trying to solve a problem of payroll and access for our members. And that's why we came up with the idea for Anytime Fitness. I was traveling to a club we were working with down in Oklahoma, and we were promoting it at the time, and they were giving away like a hardware key, like a little key. And so I remember calling Dave and my partner at the time saying, guys, this is the difference maker. Like, imagine if we could operationalize this and scale it with franchising. And that's really how it started. And that conversation happened back in 2001. And then we just, opened up our first one in 2002, and here we are.
And how many have copied you?
A lot. But you know what? What we've done a better job is our franchisees are so passionate about their communities. We continue to layer on efficient services that are repeatable. And then we harness the passion they have for their people and their communities and their job. And we just do that better than most.
What about virtual? You guys, you pivoted, and I even saw a recent video about how you're even out at Anytime coaching people in their own home, right? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so you mentioned fitness earlier. I mean, fitness is found in a health club. Health is found everywhere else. And so we're really trying to be more holistic in our health services. We're offering nutrition with the acquisition of Stronger You. We have fitness, we have recovery. And so, people are picking up their mobile phone now 60, 70, 80 times a day. It's our job now is to help them live healthier behaviors, to get that recovery, get that sleep, eat better, move better outside the club. And so what I love about technology is we can be anytime, anywhere, anyone, and not just a bricks and mortar, but we can actually provide better services to our members to help them live a healthier life. And I love that opportunity.
And is there a product now where you might not even go to the club, but you get a coach on eating and that kind of thing? Just tell me quick about that, because that's very innovative.
Look, we're trying to, what we say, democratize personal health coaching. Right now in medicine, they're either delaying, say, a knee surgery or back surgery until someone loses weight, or they're saying, look, your surgery's 3 months from now, but you got to go lose weight before we do that surgery. Where does that person go? And so we want to offer some health coaching for people to be preventative, help with nutrition, help with fitness, just help live a healthier life. So you're 100%. I think our opportunity in the future is going to be more about digital coaching and less reliant on our bricks and mortar experience.
I wish I knew who I could quote. I read this just yesterday or this morning in a book I'm reading, and they quoted somebody and said, basically, you've got a one rubber ball in life and 4 glass balls, and your rubber ball is work. If you drop it once in a while, actually it'll bounce back. But if you drop the glass ball of health, spiritual, family, or something else, emotional or something like that, if it's scarred. It's scarred. You drop your health one, that's scarred. That's going to leave some damage. And those are all glass balls, and yet we often put most of our energy and everything else into the work ball that would bounce back, in fact.
We tell our team here, don't live to work, work to live. And same thing with your health. I mean, your health is just really, health is a power source. It's either power giving source or power draining source. And at the end of the day, let it be a power giving source to fuel your life. If you're not, it's draining from your life. So at the end of the day, you can't have it either way. You're not just staying still. You've got to give it power giving.
As we land the plane soon, I want to get to you personally. But before we do, I have one more question on the company. What are some of the ways, and we didn't get to talk about this much ahead of time, but I know you've done some things there, just coming full circle around the company. What are some other things that leaders could do to attract and maintain people that are specific in this new world that we live in? How can we better attract and retain employees?
We are designing, as I mentioned, we are going to be hybrid. We want to make sure prior to the pandemic, we had unlimited personal time off. We are actually going to go to no Fridays in the summer. So Memorial Day through September, you're not expected to be on email. You're not expected to work. Fridays are off. And, especially being here in Minnesota, we know that, to enjoy summer and enjoy time with your kids during the summer break is important. So we're just recognizing that, it's not just pay our employees need. They need some time off. They need some forced balance. They need some guardrails around when you're off for the weekend, you're off for the weekend. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't expect you to respond to emails Saturday and Sunday. So, what we're saying is, look, we expect high performance out of you, but we don't own your Saturdays and Sundays. And so what I think people want is they want purposeful work. They want to be paid fairly, but they also want to optimize both their home life and their business life. And so we're trying to help them do that, because otherwise, if we constantly encroach on their life 7 days a week, they're going to be burnt out and they're going to get resentful. So we're almost forcing them to say, look, do not engage with work during these days of the week.
Amazing. Powerful. Well, let's go to personal. Chuck, what I've noticed about great leaders is they have some habits themselves that keep them healthy. And it might be fitness, it might be spiritual, it might be family, but what are some of your habits that, at least we say around here all the time, if you're going to lead others, you got to work at leading yourself, and totally imperfectly, but how are you leading yourself? What are some of your daily routines that keep you healthy in some of those core ways?
Well, my glass balls, if I think about how, if we think about ourselves as like an operating system, like what keeps our algorithms, right, working at a high level. First of all, I'm a 7 hours a night sleep guy. I'll take 8, but at the end of the day, I need 7 hours of sleep consistently. I need to work out almost every day, and it's got to be a decent intensity, right? And those two things manage my mood, my energy, my stress, mental acuity. I mean, sleep and physical fitness are linked directly to mental acuity. So there's no way. And I'm not that smart in the first place, so I need all the help I can get, right? So those two things are big. I'm a bit of an ambivert, which means I need a little bit of alone time. I need to close my office door, and I need time to read, write, or just think. And I have to recharge. I don't charge up around people. I need to charge up alone. And then it's about the people I work with. As a leader, remember, we get to draft and select our own team. So hopefully I really enjoy these people. And then I'm invigorated by our work, because everything we do helps people. So now in a mix of that, throughout the week, I'm with family, I'm with friends. I'm doing things on my hobbies. I'm doing things that I enjoy. But
what are your hobbies? What are a couple of hobbies?
What's that?
What are a couple of hobbies?
Tequila drinking. That helps too.
You and Dave.
Absolutely right. As I said, I'm a lifelong Minnesotan. I have a cabin in northern Minnesota. I still get up there 30 to 45 days a week. In fact, I'm going there this weekend. I love it in the winter. I love it in the summer. So to me, cabin is a massive opportunity to like recharge and get out in nature and get that sunshine, be on a boat. So I love the cabin. I love golf. And then, just working out. Those are probably the three things I do the most.
What's your workout? What's your common workout? You go in, what do you do? A normal day of workout in Chuck Runyon's life.
One of our brands is Basecamp Fitness. It's a 35-minute HIIT, high intensity interval training. I love that thing because I can my brain shuts off. I'm not checking my phone and I'm just going after it because it's a group led by an instructor. And that baby is still, I think, the best workout in the industry. And it pushes me harder than I push myself. And I need that.
And is that one of the ones you can do from anywhere? Is that through video? How does that work?
No, you can. We have it's a studio experience in a bricks and mortar. We do offer virtual, but this is just me now as a consumer. I push myself harder in a group environment than I do at home. And I just prefer to drive to the studio. So to me, that's number one. And then number two, I go to Anytime Fitness and do strength training. As you get older, you got to watch your decline in lean muscle mass. And so it's important for all of us at every gender and every age to continue with some strength training. So those are the two big things I do the most often.
When do you do the quiet time? Read, write, think? Like, do you have a consistent time? Like, that's always first thing in the morning. It's after lunch. It's
always first thing in the morning. When I wake up, a cup of coffee and I get caught up on the world. I'll read some of the news. I love Twitter for articles. I'll catch up on things. And then usually right when I get in, I'll grab my coffee too, just make sure my day is set. So to me, it's that morning time which really sets me up for a good day.
Love it. What are you learning now? What's the big? What are you curious about right now?
Everything digital. And so we are trying to be, we were born in 2002, right? So we're not really a digital native company. And so we're an analog company we're trying to think digital first. So if you think about our future based on digital engagement and data, we call ourselves like rich dad, poor dad, right? Digital analytics and data. And so at the end of the day, I'm trying to learn as much as I can to help us lean first with digital.
What does SE Brands look like in 5 years?
That's a great question. We will have, 6,000 locations around the world, and we will have far deeper engagement regularly with our consumers around the world in a digital way. And so those services will allow them to see better behaviors and outcomes. And where I want to get to is I want to be consumer health outcome first. So at the end of the day, let's prove it. I mean, if you join one of our brands, we are going to show you that you're living healthier behaviors, and we're going to quantify your outcome. And we're going to collect that data to help you live a healthier life and coach you and nudge you along the way.
Well, you got an amazing family. We both have 4 kids. You got an amazing wife. Tell me what do you do to keep that home front strong?
My kids are an age where they're 15 to 23 years of age. They are very active. They are very busy. They're in academics. And so at the end of the day, you just want to make sure you're engaging with them. I'm trying to attend all their games. My son just opened up one of our Basecamp Fitnesses. He's a franchisee within our network. Again, he chose to do that. I did not push him. And my daughter's studying abroad. So it's just a wonderful time in life that they are going through. And we're just trying to enjoy the moment. It's only a few more, as my son who's 15, it's only a few more years between they're going to be adults and going on. So we're just trying to soak in all those little opportunities you have to they're still kids.
Yeah, and you got a daughter that needs to play basketball. Is it tonight to try to go to state?
At the end of the basketball season, sectional finals, a huge game, and she's having a wonderful season. It's been one of the joys of parenthood is coaching and watching my kids play sports.
Really fun. Very cool. Hey, one last piece of advice or recommendation of a book or resource for those listening today.
Well, I'm not kissing up here. I love the work you've done. We have an acronym, which you probably heard from Dave, that we use at the corporate office. All of our breadcrumbs of problems come down to CAT. And this is an acronym we use here all the time, like communication, alignment, or trust. So if somehow we pick a strategy and we've got tactics, we put resources, and we check in 3 months later and it's not going well, we're like, all right, where did we fail to communicate the objectives? What's going on here? Where did the breakdown happen? Where are we not aligned strategically or culturally? Because strategically we could be aligned, but culturally, if we're dealing with our Japan Masters, is it a culture issue? Is it our team's just not getting along? Aligned? Do we have aligned objectives and do we agree on those? And then trust. And so that's what I think. I'm excited to get people back to work here, David, because our in-person teamwork, our being a high-performance team, because of the communication, alignment, trust, is going to continue to be the hallmark of our growth going forward and what we believe in. So, and I know that is everything about what you teach, because without trust, you cannot have high performance. And so those three things are what we talk about here all the time.
Well, we love what you do, and we love your presence around the world, but your presence here in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul. You and your founder are just amazing humans, and we've just enjoyed the friendship, but also just the light you're shining, and really an example of building a high-performing culture on trust. The 4 Ps, which you talk about in the book. Everybody that needs to know it, Love Work is the book, and we're going to put that in the show notes. We'll put all the other information in the show notes, how you can find what Anytime, what CE brands, what are SE brands, and what Chuck's up to. But where's the number one place they could find out about you, Chuck?
Either our website, selfesteembrands.com, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, any of those.
selfesteembrands.com, and we'll put all the links to Chuck and all of his social media, other places. This is the last question. We ask everybody only one question. This is it, Chuck.
Uh-oh.
It is, it's the Trusted Leader Show. Who is a leader you trust and why?
Oh, wow. That's a wonderful question. Our board member is the CEO of Sephora. And he used to work at Starbucks and McDonald's, or Nike and Burger King. And man, we got lucky with this guy. He is fantastic. And him and I talk frequently, and I really trust him, admire him. He's smart as heck.
All right. Thanks so much for that, Chuck. Thank you once again for just this time, for sharing with our audience. That's it. That's been the Trusted Leader Show. Until next time, stay trusted.